Okay, so we all know the story of Adam and Eve, right? How they were the first humans, and they lived in a garden, and they had a snake and a fig leaf. But what if I told you that there was an entire civilization before them? See, the story of Adam and Eve is actually an ancient myth that was written down thousands of years ago in the book of Genesis. And it's not the only story like this either. There are other myths from other cultures around the world that tell the story of the first humans in slightly different ways. For example, there is the Yoruba creation myth that tells the story of how Obatala and Oye made the first humans out of clay. So where did these stories come from? Well, it is likely that they were inspired by real events that happened thousands of years before they were written down. And those events were most likely something like this. See, until about 12,000 years ago, the entire planet was covered in ice, and I mean completely covered. It was like one giant ice cube. Over time, though, the ice started to melt and reveal the land that we know today. And let me tell you, it was a very different world. The continents were arranged in a different order. The oceans were filled with monsters, and the skies were filled with flying things that looked like giant birds. Now, the people who lived back then didn't know any of this, of course, because they were the first humans and they didn't have any history to compare it to. To them, this world was normal. They had never seen an ice cube before, so they didn't know what they were missing. They just knew that they were alive, and that was enough for them. Now, eventually, the melting ice revealed the Garden of Eden, which was probably somewhere in this area. And when Adam and Eve stumbled into the garden, it felt like paradise to them. They had never seen so much nature in one place before. There were plants and flowers everywhere. The rivers were filled with fish and the trees were filled with birds. It was like the perfect place to live, and Adam and Eve decided to stay there forever. Now, this may sound pretty stupid to us, but keep in mind that these stories were written down thousands of years ago. When people didn't really understand the world around them, it was easy for them to believe that the world was made just for them, but that doesn't mean that they were wrong. I mean, is you and it kind of amazing to think that we were the first humans to ever live on this planet? I mean, we've never seen dinosaurs or woolly mammoths, and we'll never see them again. And even though we might not remember the exact date that we came into existence, we can still marvel at the fact that we're alive today. So yeah, the next time you hear someone say that humans are the greatest invention ever, just remember that we're also the first